Today I'd like to give a tip to owners of Emperor and Darth tuna cans who need to remove the shroud on their watches, which would typically be to clean the bezel or to service the automatic or remove and exchange the battery on the Darth. And the point here is, to remove the shroud, you have to remove the screws that hold it in place. And these are hex screws. And a very common problem people have, especially when they're removing this from the first time on a factory sealed watch, is that it's very easy to strip the inside of that screw and to damage your hex key. And that, I believe, is because they use Loctite or something similar on the threading. So the first time you try to remove the screw, it's pretty difficult. And the problem is, okay, the hex key itself is pretty cheap and irrelevant, but if you damage that screw, it suddenly becomes a lot more complicated and expensive to have to remove it. And a solution for you to avoid taking the risks of that happening is to use super glue. You put a little dab of it on the hex key, and then you connect it with the screw and you let it dry. Once it's dry, you have a very, very solid attachment, and it becomes a lot easier to remove the screw safely. And once you've done that, all you have to do is dip the hex key screw unit in some nail polish remover for maybe 5-10 minutes, and the two will fall apart. And you have a nice, safe screw that you didn't damage. Because the other thing with these screws is, if you buy them from Seiko, they're remarkably expensive for what they are. And you really want to avoid doing that. And the safest way of doing that is this super glue method. I'll be having to use that same method on a Darth tuna can whose battery is dead soon. So I thought that would be helpful for someone. But that's about it for this video, and as usual, thanks for watching.